Now, if you were with us last week, you know that I am leaving it to you, the American citizen, to decide who's a racist and who isn't, in your opinion. I'm not going to tell you who's a racist and who isn't, unless there's evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. David Duke, Louis Farrakhan. Okay, I mean, we know that. They traffic in it, so all right. But President Trump or the Mod Squad, I'm not going to get involved with going racist this, racist that. That's stupid. And that separates me from all the other commentators who are getting sucked into this. The big story is that the Democratic Party and the media, who are allied in the goal of getting Donald Trump out of office, have decided that this race accusation is going to be the centerpiece of their campaign. Not going to be the economy, not going to be foreign policy. It's not going to be health care. It's not going to be whether you get a fair shot in life. Not racism. I think this helps Trump. Big. I think Donald Trump knows it helps him, which is why he stokes it every day, tweeting this, tweeting that. Now, if you saw Vice President Pence over the weekend on the CBS Face the Nation program, which is an anti-Trump broadcast, Pence knew he was going to be asked about this, and Pence said, I probably wouldn't say go back to where you came from. Now, that was calculated. Pence doesn't go in there not knowing what he's going to say. So that sends a signal to me, the astute observer, that the Trump administration wants to lower this. But President Trump, you can't tell him what to do. And in his gut, he thinks, you know what? Here's my strategy for getting reelected. You may not like me, Donald Trump. Personally, you may not like my tweets, my style, or any of that. But you got to like the economy, because the economy is helping you as it stands today. I mean, anything could happen next 12, 15 months. But in addition to the economy, and in addition to us getting the greatest trade deals, you know he's going to say all that. When you go into the ballot box, even if you don't like me, do you really want them? But there's anti-Americanism. This really is starting to get people angry. I want to give you a little example of how this plays out. So in New York City last night, there were two separate incidents where police officers tried to make arrests. One in Harlem, predominantly black area, and one in Brooklyn, again, a minority precinct. So the cops were making the arrests, and then people came along and threw water on them, threw water on the police officers who were in the process of making an arrest. Now this, I believe, is spurred on by anti-police sentiment, which goes along with America's a bad country. And the police hate minorities, or the police are oppressors, or the police are evil. Whatever it may be, this is what the far left's putting out there. Now, shockingly, and I say that as the grandson of a New York City police officer, the cops didn't arrest the people who threw the water on them. And they were reprimanded today. Those police officers were reprimanded by the higher-ups in the New York City Police Department. Says you should have brought them in. Now, that might have escalated things, so I don't know, I wasn't there. But they can be charged. People, you throw water on police officers and make an arrest, you can be charged with a crime, a serious crime, and you should be. But anyway, this is all part of the American is bad, America is bad. And that is the heart of the radical left and their belief system. They believe, and you got to understand this, that the USA is a patriarchy, and always has been, run by evil, corrupt white men like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, Andrew Jackson. All right? Maybe JFK gets a pass, maybe FDR gets a pass, I don't know. But the patriarchy is evil, white men evil. You see it in everything they do, the far left. They want that power structure broken down. Who's the poster boy for that? Donald Trump. Rich white guy. Now, first of all, here's the overarch. Here's what happened. Donald Trump, from the beginning, knew he did not do anything that compromised his ability to run the country with Russians. Despite Schiff and all the partisans saying, hey, he wanted to build a building in Moscow, that's all a bunch of BS. Trump knew that he didn't do anything. He didn't know what his individual guys did, but he knew he didn't do anything. So he was angry and frustrated at the press reportage because from the very beginning, the press convicted Trump of fixing the election with the Russians. So Trump was furious about that, remains furious about it today. Okay, then Mueller is appointed because Trump fires Comey, the FBI chief. Comey leaks illegally stuff to the press through a friend that says Trump may have done something wrong with the Russians, and the FBI was hot on his trail. Trump knew it was all bull. He knew it was all bull. All right? He gets angrier. Then his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, recuses himself from the investigation, from the Mueller investigation. It should have been that Sessions supervised Mueller, but Sessions didn't want any part of it. And his reason was, well, I met with some Russians at a party. Bogus. Okay, now Trump's crazed because he doesn't have a friendly person in the Justice Department watching all of this. Then Mueller hires all kinds of Democrats as his lead investigators, led by Andrew Weissman, who donated to the Clinton Foundation. Now Trump's like this, okay? He's crazed. And I can tell you that because I talked to him about it on the telephone way back. So then Trump starts to talk to his people in the White House. Don McGahn, his counsel, Corey Lewandowski, other people going, we got to get rid of Mueller, we got to get rid of Mueller, we got to get rid of Mueller. Mueller. Mueller became the big bogeyman. Okay, on television, David Gergen, he, he's a left-winger. He's up at the Kennedy School at Harvard, works for CNN. He's on CNN all the time. Here's what he said, go.
I think even though the Democrats did a solid job today presenting their case, I think the likelihood of impeachment went down sharply today. Because the issue is not just what goes on in the Democratic caucus and what goes on in the Judiciary Committee. It's what goes on in the general public. And Nancy Pelosi and others like her are waiting to see if the public rallies. I don't think this would galvanize the public.
To say the least. First of all, the public couldn't possibly understand the minutia of this. And second of all, they've had enough. By the way, MSNBC last night, ratings were very low. This shows you. Okay, second one, Chris Wallace on Fox News. Go.
I think this has been a disaster for the Democrats, and I think it's been a disaster for the reputation of Robert Mueller. He has seemed very uncertain with his brief. He doesn't seem to know what things that are in the report.
That's accurate. Okay, Mueller, gone. You'll never see him again. Gone. That's how bad it was. Now, we'll have plenty of your reaction, by the way, in the mail segment. That's coming up as well. All right, third segment is from Ken Starr, former special counsel for President Clinton's impeachment. Starr leans conservative, and he's been around commenting on this case. Here's what he said after the hearing.
The entire process has been so unfortunate that I think, to be honest, and I love Bob Mueller as a human being, as a patriot, but I think he's done a grave disservice to our country in the way he conducted this investigation. Now, by the way, he said time and again, I don't question politics of my staff. I understand that. But you aren't blind to what your staff members are all about as human beings.
Okay, Mueller knew that the core of his investigative cadre hated Trump. It's not fair. It's not right. It should have never happened.